Alright. Uh, Hello. I'm Doixilla, and I'm decided to play Toy Story. I don't know. I just got an itch to play this game after a while. I'm gonna see how I do in it because I usually don't. Well, whenever I play this, I usually like use a cheat or something to give myself invincibility, but I'm gonna try not doing that.
Yeehaw!
Alright. Whenever I play this game, I keep the storyline on because, well, it is just the story of the movie. So, I might. Honestly, I'm playing this on SNES because I'm more used to this version. I like. Personally, I just like how this looks and sounds a bit better than the Genesis one. But, I might try out playing the Genesis one for a playthrough like this at some point. So, yeah, this is Toy Story, alright. There's some joke about Silicon Graphics computers that I do not understand at all.
Code Red! Move! Move! Move!
So yeah, that's a weird thing about the SNES version. There's that weird jump you can do, where it's slightly higher than usual. I've actually played through the Genesis, SNES, and Game Boy versions of this a few times. I feel like because of like how weird the conversion was for Game Boy, that one ended up like the easiest out of all versions.
Ow!
Now this section, I usually stick to the strategy of getting as many stores out of this stuff you can jump on, then yeah, breaking down the robots thing less so it can come in. Rex should be coming up soon, yep. Also realizing for my previous stuff like Bubsy and Bart vs. the World, I think I was definitely using keyboard for that, but now I'm actually using a controller for this. I don't know, a lot of emulation stuff I end up like sticking the keyboard if it feels fine enough to do it like that. But when I can, I'm gonna try using the controller if I remember to do that before I set up the minimal setup for this stuff, this recording thing. Yeah, anytime you get 50 stars in a level, you get a hat, which is a 1-up. Between 45 and 46 to 49, I'm like somewhere in that range. That's when you can just get a hit point. I forget which version it was that means like more stars within that range means more hit points. This section definitely happened in the movie. It wasn't what he definitely had in this race. Andy definitely had all these shark toys and clown toys. These are definitely part of the movie. This isn't just adaptation witness. You have to trust me. Yeah. That one's weird again. You have to get the right lineup on that helicopter. This section, I'm like, you can just hold the whip button, and each time, as long as you're holding forward, you'll hit the next one. Which is a bit weird. This version of the game has probably the worst whip control because you have to aim it right at the edge of the whip attack instead of like any point within it. It's like, would it be a blind spot near the middle of it? And also a strange note about the SNES version, you have to let the stars count down in that bottom tally in order for it to actually go up. It doesn't automatically set itself to what it's supposed to be. So like if you mash through that screen, you only get a few stars instead of how many you actually got in total. Which if you want continues, you gotta let it count down.
You don't want to be in the way when my laser goes off.
Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that! Here it comes! Take that!
Oh!
Here it comes!
Oh!
Here it comes!
Oh!
Here it comes!
When it comes to stars for this level,
Yeah.
I don't really worry myself about getting all of them because I think in SNES is flat out impossible. That's like a human to do. But Genesis, if you can line it up on the left side, it's definitely possible. I've seen it happen. Buzz clip, I'm trying to take it slow so I don't bump into walls that much. Buzz looks weird in that frame. You can tell they mirrored it horizontally. Revenge of the Toys. This level has my favorite music in both versions. Like both Genesis and SNES. Suddenly reminded, there's like a video on YouTube I remember watching showing a bunch of version differences of like minor things about, I think it was each level for this game, showing like what was different about it. Yeah, like even that has a difference. The way Mr. Potato Head parts come out of his body. And the snake just does not exist in this version, I think. Cancel out of the whip with a jump or another action, like in ducking. I'll say it's kind of weird how you can like stand on the individual parts of the block stacks. It's like, it doesn't show that. You can really well, considering this game's going for a three-dimensional look. Like, this is the one thing, one of the few things about how this game looks that bugs me. Yeah, Valky Gibraltar, this guy's name is apparently. I only learned that from the Genesis credits, you know? Like, they list off the cast of characters. Whenever this level ends, I like to run alongside Rex. The level properly ends when Vex reaches the edge of the screen on the right. So, I feel like they kind of intend for you to do that. I'll preface this level. Pretty sure there's only 48 stars in it. Because I've played this on the SNES version multiple times. I've never gotten 50 stars in this level, and I'm pretty sure they just forgot to put 2 extra ones instead of each 50. I didn't really test it. Genesis one is fine. I feel like that's the version of the game that they worked on as a base in that. With like another company worked on the port for this, and like, I forget the name, I don't really pay attention to it, but there's another logo at the start other than Traveler's Tale. Yeah, see, only 48. I don't know if it's something I'm doing or if it's just in the game. It feels like there isn't enough stars in this level.
Watch out!
Oh!
To infinity and beyond!
Oh!
To infinity and beyond!
I like how this version of the song sounds in comparison to the Genesis one.
Watch out!
Huh?
To infinity
Did not expect
and
that right
beyond! Watch out! Watch out!
Does this work?
Oh!
Yep. And you gotta move. I don't like looking down above once the battle's over and just being like, I will always be Eddie's favorite. I will always be his favorite toy. That's cringe. I'm sorry. The way the feet move in this level is so stupid looking. You keep moving while you're jumping. Look at how high you go. Yeah, you can sort of move while you're crouching. And as long as the cup's downloaded, like down below this point, I think it counts as you being able to dodge the legs. Yeah. Like I barely reached the bottom of the animation for the cup going down. Oh yeah, and the song loops are definitely on Genesis. Like there's an extra section that isn't in the SNES version. Yeah, this is an example of the poor detection on the whip, mainly the jumping one. Yeah, like how this part of the song in the SNES version is like a higher pitch. It's just like a personal preference. I don't feel like any version is objectively better or worse than the other. But if there was one to complain about, it would be how the Game Boy version of the soundtrack sounds. That one on like base Game Boy just doesn't sound right. It's like up a tone, like up a semitone, I think. And how they converted songs from specifically the SNES version, I can tell. Like, doesn't sound as good as it should be. Dodge all those on it, the SNES. And then enemies whatever space, I think. Okay. Yeah, I made it.
Hello?
The head detection on this section feels a little weird. It's like your headbutt's a lot wider than it should be.
Hello? Hello?
No, speedrunners do that. To, like, save a bit of time here. Yeah. I'll keep it moving this way. That's the interesting thing about this.
Hello?
Genesis is all like one much larger area that has a total of 8 aliens. This one's much smaller, more linear, and does have the moving block.
Hello?
Both of these are pretty good looking for, I guess, the time was in 1995, so and they did a good job doing this effect. I did actually try recreating mainly the Genesis version of this level on Game Builder Garage on Switch, but I don't think I ended up finishing it. My main issue was trying to figure out how to do a counter that could show that you were like getting the aliens to the spot you had to bring them to. Yeah, this is another level that showcases the poor hit detection on the whip, because you have to constantly shoot up aliens to the claw. Yeah. This is another level I'm not too worried about Star Zone, because I think it would take multiple deaths for someone like me to get them all. And SNES version is missing the little cord that's on the other side. Which I don't think it really added anything to the protocol fight here. I feel like it just showcases like a visual they could do ultimately. Yeah, only 23. Sid's workbench. This definitely happened in the movie as well. Damn. I think this is gonna be the last level I actively go for stars on, because like I use the rest of my stockpile of lives for the last few levels in this game each time I play. Yeah, that one's hard to get, but at least they put a life next to it so that if you do get it, you get a 1-up out of it. Give it another try, and if it doesn't work again, I might just move on. Yeah. Actually, you know, one more try. I'll heal in.
Ow!
Oh, there we go. Oops.
Hot, 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 ow, ow, ow. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot.
Yeah, I don't remember Sid doing this twice in the movie. I feel like it only happened once.
Hot, 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 ow, ow, ow.
I feel like that first part's just a showcase of what it's like, and then this one's the real
Hot,
test.
hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot.
Real poor camera on here where everybody's right at the right side of the screen while you're moving.
Hot, 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 hot,
Yeah,
hot, hot,
keep
hot.
waggling back and forth.
Hot, 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 hot. 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 Hot, 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 hot.
There's a big cluster of 4 stars. Yeah, like this, and then you can go back. I think in Genesis there's one last yo-yo right after the milk, which is kind of a jerk move. Look out for things? Don't call them that. That's mean. And like I said, I'm not gonna worry too much about starting from this one. I also really like those track downs. I am. Like, for the next checkpoint without dying. Nope. Thought I could make it to that hook. Get that. You see bugs?
Watch out! Take that! Take that! Take that! Watch out! Take that! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Take that! Take that! Take that! Take that! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Take that! Watch out! Take that! Take that!
Yeah, only 9 stars. Next one's Roller Bob. Gotta be like on the far side of the screen. That's good too, because I don't know, I feel like Genesis used to have more screen space in general. This one didn't really count for that. struggle with, but I feel like main worry is making sure you can avoid some of these bombs. And the cans. Just make sure you know when those show up. The rockets, they have an audio cue, so you don't really worry about those too much. This level, Light My Fire, also kind of difficult if you like try to go for stars. I feel like because you have to be real precise with what batteries you go for. And also another thing, the other level that should have been between this and Roller Bob, like Daytona. I don't know. Ultimately, I feel like that level doesn't add too much. It's a cool looking level, but like I don't know. This doesn't really feel like it was necessary. I'm gonna get this battery. Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, it might just be the SNES level. Sometimes you like go to specific spots and you get stars anyway. In this level, it feels weird. I don't know if that's intentional or not. You know, really short if you're not worried about stars. I got 39 without trying. This is it. The truck is in sight and Andy's mom's car is just in front of it. Reach the car and you're no longer lost toys.
Here it comes. To infinity and beyond. Watch out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Ow. Watch out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Watch out. Watch out.
Yeah, this level's also pretty difficult. Yeah.
Here it comes. To infinity
Like how they
and
just leave
beyond.
RC back here. Good luck.
Watch out. Here it comes. Here it comes. Watch out. Here it comes. Ow. Here it comes. Watch out. Ow, watch out. Here it comes. Watch out. Here it comes.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the stars. I think there's one below here.
Here it comes. 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 Ow. Watch out. Ow.
Yeah. I like doing that if I have hits for it.
Here it comes.
Yeah, this part automatically
Watch out.
pulls you here. But you can keep moving forward, unlike the Genesis one, where you sort of have to slam your head into the front of the car. Now, what are you, boss? They're right here in this box. See, his mother answers with a smile. I knew they'd turn up soon enough. Andy gives his favorite toys a hug as Woody breathes a big sigh of relief. And Andy wonders who said that. That night, after all the toys were unpacked, Woody and Buzz told them all about their big adventure. What we found is that we toys have to stick together, eh, Buzz? Woody, I couldn't agree more. From that day on, Woody and Buzz were best friends, and whenever a new toy came into the bedroom, they were welcomed as friends as well. For the toys had learned a valuable lesson, or rather a great lesson. Well, it's nice to be Andy's favorite. All a toy really needs to be is the best toy it can be. Well done, you have completed Toy Story. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for playing. So sounds so unenthusiastic. But yeah, I really like playing this game.
Yeehaw!
This was fun to go through again. And I have this play while I talk about this game. Yeah, I don't know what it is about just Toy Story in general. I really like the movies of it, mainly the first three. I'm still not too sure about how I feel about the fourth one and the fifth one coming up. I may or may not see it. I don't know. But the first three, been really good movies. I keep coming back to them, watching through all of them, and I don't know what it's about them. They're just really funny. The Toy Story movies, like, they can be sad, emotional, but they're also just the whole time pretty funny. This first one, and mainly the game it has, something I don't really like talk about is that this one game inspired like a whole character that I have. I draw like my own characters, and I come up with worlds and stuff for them. Like it was Toy Story, this game, and a mix of other ones that inspired it. And the main thing that inspired it was the whip swinging mechanic that's in the game. I really vibe with that mechanic. I wish it was used more throughout it. Like the Battle of the Mutant Toys level, I feel like that's the one where it gets to be used in the most unique way, with like being as a way to ascend. Yeah, it's I feel like this game could have done like a few more platforming levels. Not too many of them focus on that. Other ones are like unique mini games like RC driving, the Vex and Roller Bob sections, and then food and drink. Like they're all like it's a mix of platforming and like unique gameplay styles, which I feel like it does fit the game. But personally, I would have loved more platforming for this. I feel like the way Woody moves in this is like solid. They got a good feeling. They got a good feeling movement for him. What else do I want to talk about? Well, I think it goes without saying the graphics of this turned out pretty good. They nailed the style of the movie, but I think they got hold of some of the models for it. That's what let them like do the graphics for this, and the different visuals of like what was it, really inside the claw machine. They wanted this game to feel 3D before like consoles like Sega Saturn and what was the PlayStation 1 and 64. They wanted to do it before that was something available just in general. I think it was 1995. This was before those things were out. You know, like most of them. I think PlayStation was coming out. I forget. I'm not a master of this sort of stuff. But yeah, visually this game looks really good, both on Genesis and SNES. I feel like the colors on SNES do it more justice. Yeah, I think that's most of it. That's most of what I wanted to say. I feel like this game's a real good time, but like other games I played, Bugsy and Bart versus the World, you gotta invest some time to like learn it. You gotta learn what you're doing. I didn't even mention it when I did it. I started out on One Life to show that you don't really need to worry about lives too much in this game if you know what you're doing. Like at the end I was messing up because I was trying to go for stuff I shouldn't try to go for. But yeah. There are a lot of games I like to I like to like devote a bit of time to just to learn it, and then I can like breeze through it pretty easily. And if you want to see another thing like this, just tell me. Like I may not be able to guarantee any specific game because there's only so few that I know I said many, but there's only a certain few that I like played enough to be able to breeze through like this. But yeah, if you want to see me do another thing like this, please let me know. The Bubsy video is still like the best one of these I've done so far, and I don't think many people have seen the Bart vs. the World one, but I don't know, I'm just glad to be able to play a game like this, not really worry about any sort of set things I have to say, just talking about it while I play through, and then something at the end where I get to discuss it a bit more. So yeah, if you watched all the way through, thank you so much, and I hope to be able to make another thing I can satisfy an itch for whatever game I and maybe you enjoy seeing played. Bye.